Good afternoon, everybody. Christine Barconi here in the NBC4i Streaming Center. And as the Thanksgiving week and holiday travel gets underway, we wanted to bring you an interview with the Ohio State Highway Patrol. Sergeant Nathan Dennis from the Ohio State Highway Patrol is joining us. Good afternoon, Sergeant Dennis. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good, doing good here. So Thanksgiving is going to look a lot different for many people, but based off the information you've told me already, not for you guys.
Correct. Yeah, it's going to look a little bit different this year, but we still expect people to be out on the roadways traveling. So, with that, we just want to share some safety facts or safety information for them to keep in mind as they're traveling.
All right, and what should people keep in mind?
Obviously, during the holidays, with the roadways being busier, just be more aware of your surroundings. Ensure you're putting your phone down, paying attention to the speed limits, just staying focused on everything that's going on around you. And focus on the roadway, not just what's going on inside your vehicle. Ensure that you're staying focused on the roadway, that you're wearing your safety belt, and of course, never drive impaired.
So you guys, are you going to be out in full force like you normally are for the holiday week, not weekend, but Wednesday into Sunday?
Correct. So starting Wednesday at midnight, we will have troopers out in full force, ensuring that everybody's traveling safely on the roadways and that everybody is getting to their destination safely.
Certainly. So Wednesday, what do you guys look for? So obviously, one of the big ways, we were talking about this in the newsroom earlier today, one of the big ways that you guys would pull people over perhaps normally is with expired registration, and then that turns into a possible OVI if you suspect the driver might be impaired. Obviously that's not a thing right now because the deadlines and different things have been pushed back. So how are you guys going to be I guess pulling people over if you do suspect OVI?
Some of the things we look for when we're out working traffic in general is for speed violations, marked lane violations where somebody can't maintain their lane, failing to stop at a stop sign or a red light, things of that matter. Is some of the examples that we're looking for when we're just working the roadways and traffic in general.
How do you guys keep your troopers safe when they're face to face, like pretty close a lot of the time with the public? COVID is really spreading and ramping up. We set another record, this weekend or yesterday actually with the number of cases here. How are you guys keeping the troopers safe as far as interacting with the public face to face? Are people asked to put on their face masks if they're pulled over? Do troopers wear face masks? How does that work?
So the troopers obviously are practicing social distancing. One thing that we are doing is sanitizing everything. So once the interaction occurs with somebody alongside the road, the trooper will go back, sanitize their patrol car themselves, use hand sanitizer, things of that nature. So the troopers are staying safe out on the roadway. We are continuing to ensure that we're keeping our workspace sanitary, and that's the most important thing.
And what about those face masks?
So our troopers, wait a second. There we go. So our troopers they do have masks available to wear. When they are going to have close contact with somebody, they can put that mask on to keep them safe, as well as the person that they've stopped alongside the roadway.
That's good. All right, so different things you're going to be looking for. Have you guys had, obviously, the impaired drivers and seatbelts and speeding and different things like that? Have you guys received any information or looking at different data? Do you expect less drivers on the road with the CDC recommendations that people really stay home this Thanksgiving, especially here in Columbus? We've got, 70 and 71 and 77, all of those big major thoroughfares that run through here.
Well, this is uncharted territories, with the holidays coming up and, unprecedented times with the COVID-19 pandemic going on. We're not sure exactly what to expect as far as how many people will be out on the roadways. So what we're doing is we're just preparing for a lot of people to be on the roadways. If traffic is less, then we're not going to be, I guess, changing our ways. So if there's less traffic, then we're okay with that. If there is the same amount of traffic, then we're prepared for that. So the main thing is for us to be prepared either way.
Certainly. And if there is less traffic, are you guys going to be potentially making adjustments for Christmas and the December holidays as well?
As of right now, we are going to continue with our troopers being out in full force on the holidays. The main priority is just making sure that everybody stays safe. So what we want to do is ensure that we have enough troopers out there on the roadway so that everybody can safely get to their destination. And if that means there's less traffic, but we still have the same amount of troopers out, we're at least ensuring that everybody stays safe.
Let's talk about last year's numbers because they were pretty startling. Quite a few fatal accidents, and many of which perhaps could have been prevented if people were wearing their safety belts.
Correct. So last year we did have 15 fatal crashes, which resulted in 18 people being killed. So just over a 3-day period, that is a lot of fatal crashes to occur across the state. And of those, 7 of the crashes involved alcohol and or drugs. So when you look at 7 crashes, which resulted in 8 fatalities, being centered around alcohol and or drug use, that's obviously a concern for us.
Do you guys think the curfew being moved up to 10 o'clock and with the bars closing earlier, especially on that Thanksgiving Eve when people generally like to go out and party, maybe with some old friends, do you think that the number will go down because of that?
Well, I guess when we look at that, we do know that in past history, Wednesday night before Thanksgiving seems to be quite a busy night for our night shift units as far as OVI arrests go. So with things closing down early, that may possibly decrease. And if that does and our roads are safer, then that's great.
All right, Sergeant Dennis, anything else we need to know before this holiday weekend?
Again, just make sure that we're buckling up. 7 of the fatal crashes that occurred last reporting period for us, which is the 3 days, the day before, the day after, and the day of Thanksgiving. 7 of those crashes, 7 of those 16 crashes were unbelted occupants of a vehicle. So ensure that when you head out there that you're buckling up, that you're staying safe, and that you're definitely driving sober. And again, we'll be out there to ensure that you get to your destination safely, and don't be afraid to contact us if you do need assistance along your way.